Thank you. Just to be clear, Lekro is the in-game leader. Golden is just taking the roles of Plopsky at this point, as we understand it. NiP starting on the CT side, and one thing to consider, as well as all those asterisks that the desk mentioned, is also all the stuff happening with the org in the background.
Yeah.
That for the longer term players on the team, that has to be distracting as well. So there's a lot of things going on for Ninjas in Pajamas, and I don't know what the climate is like in Sweden for all that stuff. I don't quite read that. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of opportunity to be had for Crazy, who will start slow on the pistol round. Otto and Esperanto with some flashes and smokes. Hunter deploying a decoy, however. I think he threw the decoy towards Connector on B, which would suggest a smoke grenade, which is interesting. It might pull people out of position. We got some jewels so far from that pop dog positional ladder, if you will. Rez goes down 1 for 1. There's plenty of time on the clock, and Crazy move towards the side.
They're doing some good damage here. They are making inroads onto that plant. That's a great fadeaway from Golden. He's looking to do more damage here. Esperanto down as well. Golden with great defense from up high. And now the rest of Crazy are stuck in terrible positions. Hunter. Oh my god. Spots the helmet, but can't pop that one. There goes Get Right. Lovely finish for NiP. Very nicely done. I felt like they were in a lot of trouble there. The positioning of Crazy was really good, all until Golden got those 2 kills on the bomb train. That really just sabotaged the entire round for Crazy. So NiP get themselves a pistol victory. And if NiP are going to win against Crazy, I do feel like it's here, James. This has been the NiP map, I feel like, for so very long. They've always loved playing Train.
I think to NiP's advantage, considering all the mitigating circumstances, if you will, is the fact it's the best one as well. I feel like the longer sets might not necessarily benefit them. So maybe it will make life a little easier, and some early momentum could certainly go with that. So we see there's a Zeus in the ladder position. Jason actually suggested we do a Sounds of CSGO with the Zeus. I actually looked into it, and it isn't a non-fatal weapon, it's a less fatal weapon. So we might have to pass on that, Jason, because it might kill someone.
What if we wear the correct defensive gear?
To electricity?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Crazy looking to burst onto the B bomb site with the Glocks and the odd P250. And they'll get not much out of it. Did the best they could in the circumstances, but I'm sure they'll be buying now.
What if, James, we just turn the voltage down really low?
I'm not effing with any of that stuff.
You wanted to do attack dogs?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But
I'll pass on the taser. Someone's gonna die. Even when we're walking in hotel lobbies and so on, I'm getting zapped every time I press an elevator button. Just
building
the
a
static
resistance.
electricity is all over the place. It's gonna be like a bad Raiden.
All right, well, we got the MP9s continuing on for NiP now, and so you'd imagine some level of aggressive positions with those. And we shall see Crazy with the first frag. They're making their moves towards through the halls, and you can see these aggressions from NiP are not working out very well. However, the bomb is towards Lekro. He's alone, but okay, they're going to rotate back. Interesting. There is still a possibility for NiP to come back in this round. I like that Crazy have left a lurk towards the upper position, towards B. And they are setting their sights towards A now. Looks like they might be even setting up some smokes to attack into the A bomb side. With a forward position on Rez in Pop Dog, and with no one going to that position, he's likely not going to find too much love with that UMP. It's only really going to be good in those closer range engagements. And it looks like Crazy are actually going all the way towards Ivy. So NiP just stacking towards this B bomb site is certainly not going to be ideal. However, it does allow them to save, the option to save their guns. They'll just have to deal with the lurker, which is Otto, but they do get to save their guns if they fancy not going for that retake on A.
Otto's making some sounds towards the B bomb site. Rez on the flank now. Otto will get taken out. That's a nice upgrade for him. Now they should realize what's going on and that they are out of position. So what do they choose to do? Moving towards the connector or CT spawn, perhaps. They could go for a boost. The Molotov won't help them, though. Crazy will plant the bomb with some comfort. So we can see Lekro will show some presence towards connector. There are 2 kits on the players, and it seems like they want to go for it. A wide swing from Get Right, a ding-dong with the MP9. Can he pick up the rifle? Maybe this is enough, although they continue to move closer to the site. Rez making no bounds about his position. Somehow he wins that duel. There was so much warning there, but Esperanto's here to trade. Get Right's in the red with 12 HP. He's the only person with a kit, so I think it's time to save. Lekro's standing on the bomb, so hold on a second.
Wow.
Hold on a second.
What the hell just happened?
How on earth have they won that?
Oh my god, that did not make any sense for them to win that round. So firstly...
I was just waiting for them all to die, basically.
Exactly, no, of course. And they just somehow win all these duels. Obviously, it starts out with Get Right on that swing with the MP9, and Rez getting a free upgrade there. I mean, that's all very normal, but retaking the A-bomb site when the only positions that they're coming from are the backlines is pretty ridiculous. Oh my goodness. I mean, Crazy only had one player that wasn't really in position to help because he was covering the T-main flank.
So I wonder if that took them off guard.
That spells good things for NiP for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I think putting the NiP in a 0-3 spot is kind of crazy because while their results have been abysmal of late, I think especially with everything going on outside the servers, there's no better place for these players to be than in the servers. And again, with 2 best of 1s to play,
oh my god.
They're going back to back. Oh, that's gonna be that's a really big frag. It'll be responded to though.
That's so weird.
Yeah, well, let's see this push towards B. Golden's in a really good angle. He's got 2. Lekro's there to trade and clean up, leaving Otto with 1:10 to try and find an entry. I don't know if the bomb was spotted because he was on the high ground. He's been spotted now. 4-0. Great start for NiP again. With 2 best of 1s, I feel like they're going to raise their game at a major. And I think this is just it's just refreshing for them. It's like, this is what we are built for. This is who we are. Playing in a major, forget everything else. And Forrest hasn't even started yet. He's got his AWP out, but he's not on the scoreboard just yet.
Yeah.
Lekro is the opposite to James Bond. I guess he's Jason Bourne, or who knows, 700, 700.
Yeah, definitely the better end of it. Yeah, I mean, this is a great start. And, you know, for those people that they just want to watch Counter-Strike and are fans of the Counter-Strike of these players and the legacy of some of these players like Get Right and Forrest. Like, Forrest is one of the best Counter-Strike players of all time. It's irrefutable. He is one of the oldest Counter-Strike players still playing professionally, as is Get Right. And these guys have been through thick and thin. They've been playing professionally for over a decade.
I think Forrest is going to be an awesome dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think anybody will disagree with that.
And he's a born gamer as well. Any game he takes to, he absolutely crushes it. He's got a crazy knack for anything game related. And it's good to see NiP with a strong start here. Looking pretty good so far. Crazy. Gonna get some damage in. Just playing it slow and trying to get rid of some of those nades. Esperanto finds one on Rez. That's annoying for NiP. Get Right replacing the position. But you have to be really careful about these jiggles. Oh, Esperanto commits and Get Right turns his back to Ivy. There was no one covering it, so Get Right needed to look there.
Now they've got no position on A. Again, it's something I always mention. The Deagles are so good on the T side of an eco on train because if the C2s choose to engage you, there's only so many places they can stand. So if you just keep popping them like that and they don't move, they're just going to keep taking bullets. Unless you land that shot in the head, obviously. But again, we're seeing it now. Lekro getting tagged as well, down to 50 HP. So close to landing, not quite landing the shot. Very strange round so far, but you really have to be careful engaging the Desert Eagles. Those tight channels.
Oh!
That is unbelievable from Forrest, but there's a lot more to do. The M4's moving forward now, trying to sweep up, but now Forrest suddenly left alone. Doesn't want to drop the AWP, but he'll have to. Not the ideal engagement, especially with erratic peeking from the Deagle players as well. You're bursting, but you don't know when they're popping up, but they know where you're going to be when they pop out. Yeah,
one of the strange things about that round, which led to Get Right's death, is the fact that there was no cover on Ivy. I think because Rez died straight away, Get Right was the player that was looking after Ivy. So suddenly he was looking after Rez's position and Ivy, which obviously is a 180. That's not a good spot to be in. and that spelled problems. I think that positionally that was the issue for NiP.
They could have done with a proper pop flash towards the Ivy position. Actually, from the bottom of the ladder, there's a left and right click flashbang that you can do, which is a pop flash towards the Ivy position. You can actually run with it as a bait to make them face. It's something you can see Nico do it on occasion if he's in that area for FaZe Clan.
Yeah,
I think I've put a video of it on YouTube, but I mean that's one you do by yourself. But ideally, you want to making those forward plays. But where they haven't been practicing and people have had, like daddy jobs and other things to do,
daddy jobs.
I think you might see a lack of polish in that respect, and that might cost them.
Yeah, that's a spot where like if Get Right has to be in that position, that's suboptimal. Like the whole team needs to reconfigure on the A-bomb side. It's not too difficult to do, but yeah. But we'll see if they can return in this round. They are lacking utility desperately, but after that 3v4 retake on A, anything is possible.
There's one flash on NiP, and it's Forest, and he's the person standing in front of main. Ideally, he'd want to be flashed in this point to get some forward information. That's not quite the case just yet. 3 players on B ramp. Get Right moving back. Seems Nexus running distraction towards the A bomb site. Golden still on the low ground though. Maybe Get Right. Oh, that's absolutely brutal. Both the B players taken out. NiP out of position. I think there's a molly by that connector area. Indeed, there is. And that's a simple out maneuver.
Yeah.
But they know Nexa is around Ivy because he was throwing some grenades earlier on. So there isn't really anywhere safe for NiP to save. They're in a really weird spot where they're just hiding on the bomb train on A, which is very unusual.
Yeah, and to be able to get that kill on Golden, you don't see it too often. One of the reasons you don't see that too often is because where we saw the spray coming from Hunter, he was very exposed towards to side alleys, to connector and so on. And normally you don't have the space to just stand there exposed to casually spray that. You'd have to actually push much closer to do it so you're in cover. And so that lack of utility, that lack of pressure from NiP in this round certainly cost them, but they will keep 3. Okay, there you go. They'll keep 3 weapons alive, so that's pretty critical. What does allow for a buy in this round, but they'll have the same problems. They're going to have a lack of utility, and they're going to require to play. They want to play faster. They want to play more aggressive, but as you can see in the previous round, Crazy played it slow. They forced NiP into the spot where they were unable to really be aggressive.
There are some tools to work with. Beautiful from Lekro. Fast enough reaction. Catches the arm of Letney, I think. And maybe that weapon can be collected. You can see there's a smoke towards main. Didn't go far enough, really. But with 2 players on pistols, maybe somebody can collect if they feel like they've got an opportune moment to do so. Get Right spotting Ivy with a deagle. Maybe he makes his way over to collect something. The other pistoling player is Golden on the B bomb site. And once again, it's a 3-man push from Crazy. Golden rotating with the flash. He's caught Hunter off guard. Really nice stuff. Got a good angle for a one-shot. Won't land it on this occasion. There is a trade, though, from Lekro. Get Right has indeed picked up that AK-47 in main, and now he's on the flank.
Yeah, and the presence from Lekro with that AWP is causing problems here for Otto to want to cross. Lekro's repositioned though towards Oil, and he's going to go for a deeper angle. And this is definitely the play you need to make. Keep repositioning, keep things dynamic, and Crazy are kind of stuck in the mud at the moment. Lekro might have nailed this. He will just about spot Nexa, and he'll nail him as well. Otto now with it all to do. 30 seconds to go, and there's just too many angles. Rez will take him out. 5-2, NiP recover, and I got to say, this is very reminiscent for me of NiP. Just being in spots where they just don't quite have what you'd like, but they still kind of find ways to win rounds in these awkward positions.
Look how fast Lekro is here. A jumping player as well. Wow. That's not an easy shot to land.
He's 11 for 1 right now, James.
That's beautiful.
That is actually madness.
Rez collected the AWP from Otto, threw it to Forest at the end of the round there. Got to mention that. That's a lot of extra firepower and bonus money for Ninjas in Pyjamas. A tactical timeout from Crazy, as you can see. They'll be on the buy as well. They've got more money than NiP have. But I think it's tight for both squads. A lot more tight, though, for NiP. So this is a big round for them to hold on to. Nexa, he's been so key for Crazy in so many of their games so far, but he's not lighting up the scoreboard just yet.
Yeah, he's been extremely impressive. However, double orbs coming in. We get you know, Forrest on the AWP as well as Lekr. Lekr is obviously feeling it. Lekr, an incredible player. Again, if you missed it in the interview, we heard that he is still on the IGL role, as Golden just takes over Plopsky's roles. So something to bear in mind. NiP obviously no time to put in any changes, any new systems. So they'll just rely on some of the old stuff, and with a fresh take, having Golden in the mix. And sometimes that works. Sometimes it works. And of course, NiP fans are hoping that it will work here for NiP at this major. He's forced out of the pop position. That's where he has always played for NiP. Very adept in that area, but it's looking a bit scary now as Crazy start to push towards A.
1 minute on the clock. Smoke towards the ladder room. Pop flash. No one to push with it, though.
Do they know about Letney? I don't think they do.
He's holding the angle. He's making no assumptions, which is good. 45 seconds, and maybe they're waiting for a CT to make a mistake, especially with that flash towards main. You do wonder if someone's going to start creeping. Rez gets taken out eventually. Just as the grenades start to fly in, Forrest, where does he choose to peek? He's going to hold main and ladder room at the same time, but they're out. They're all over the place, just swarming like the Zergs. 5 versus 3 for Crazy with 30 seconds to plant the bomb.
Micro in a hell of a bad position. Looks like at this point, I don't know if there's all that much left for NiP to do. 2 versus 4, they're locked out of the bomb site, and I think they're starting to back away. At the very least, Get Right's repositioning towards Old Bomb, and he will get caught. Golden might lose everything as well, so he tries to fall back. Really got to try to save this. I don't know if there's any weapons, any upgrades that are available. He'll have to just settle with the M4. And indeed, that was, I don't know that whether or not Letney's position was known. I think that given that NiP had more passive positions and there had been spots where vision had been obscured here or there, NiP was suspicious of a player that a player could have moved towards Olofmeister, but Letney obviously finding a great timing with the pre-aim as well. It's gone there. Golden's going to go down too. And that does seem to kind of spiral things out of control. You can see Forrest's position immediately compromised, can't even activate with the AWP. Very difficult times there for NiP. And it was very expensive what they lost. They had everything. They had 2 AWPs and the max everything. So
yeah, Forrest was caught in a horrible situation once his teammate had gone down. I'd like to see some forward plays into main from Ninjas in Pyjamas, but they're going to need utility and a full buy in order to do that, which may feel like it's some ways away now. We've got the players stacking on the A-bomb site. Get Right's going to get absolutely deleted, however. Esperanto, in the meantime, has made his way into a very forward position in hell. I don't think he's been spotted. We've got smoke towards Ivy to isolate if necessary. One of the last 2 players spotted on the site. Beautiful stuff from Crazy as they look for their 4th round. Golden with Deagle and Kevlar moving around. The lost bonus is in the bin as well for Ninjas in Pyjamas, so the road to recovery may be long at this point.
yeah, it seems to be the case that Crazy will guaranteed get to 5. Presumably NiP will full save in the next round. I think some teams are force buying in this round, but NiP seem to be a bit more conservative. So I would imagine we'll see. I mean, that makes sense because Train is a map where you do need absolutely everything. And I think the double ops is a good shout. I think both Forrest and Lekr.
Very capable, but Forrest is not having any success at the moment.
Yeah.
9 rounds, he's got 1 kill. Same to be said for Nexa. But the CTs, you have the angles. With AWP, you'd expect more than 1 kill by this point, but
yeah,
such is life. Again, Lekro's looked very, very potent, especially with those players trying to dart out of the main position quickly, but has not been enough for a significant lead.
It's good to see though. I mean, again, like you can see that NiP, like a lot of teams would have less money in this round in their position because they would have spent more in the previous round. So I really do like that they have the discipline to not just go for the full force buy, which there is a justification for it. They really are doing everything they can.
Golden is in connector with a flashbang over the sidewall. So he's got a setup which seems to be going towards E-Box if you look at him on the radar. But now he's changed his position. I'm watching him on my second monitor. Okay, the flash has gone into the middle, above Esperanto's head. He'll avoid that, but can he avoid the fire? 2 may be enough. If they can take out their AK-47, they can. Forest trying to run to safety, but there is no safety from Crazy in a round such as this. Lecro of the USP makes his way towards CT spawn. He may soon be met by the likes of Otto, who's been a very enjoyable sniper to watch. And it is somewhat late for GoTV picks, but for me it would be Otto. I really enjoyed his sniping. He's very aggressive, often in the right situations, picks the good timing for Crazy. So for this game of Train, Otto is my GoTV pick.
Esperanto is looking really dangerous here so far today. His precision is really something to witness.
I might say precise.
That's what precision means, James.
It was a joke, Dan.
Jokes suck.
I know they mostly fly over your head, but
that's because it's too bad, James. That's why. Cannot acknowledge it, although I did.
Okay, Ninjas in Pajamas are going to have more in the hole now. Forest is going to the silenced M4. Get Right's picked up an AWP. Does he throw it to Lecro? Is he playing a spawn? Or is he just playing the... I guess he's just playing the AWP. So there's a change. That's interesting, especially considering Lecro's success. So it seems Ninjas in Pajamas have changed something for this particular round. Now, maybe Forest has picked up the M4 to go for an aggressive play towards main or something. Time will tell. We've got the initial grenades being deployed. Res by E-Box, Lecro and Forest all around the E-Box and the ladder room. Only Res spotted, though, by Otto, so they don't really know what's up just yet. Crazy. There is a difference in this play from NiP.
And Crazy taking a peek with the orb from Top Dog, quite unexpected. Doesn't work out this time around. And again, NiP in a situation with a lack of utility. Res got to be careful. He does do equal damage more or less to Hunter, both extremely wounded. Next, it goes for the peek with a flash. Bang! Forest is caught out. That is really unfortunate. It was a 2-man setup, but Rez had to abandon it. And that left Forest completely exposed. So it's not a good look now. Hunter will take down Get Right, so well, it's certainly a good look for Crazy, that is, though. And what is the option now for NiP? It's looking pretty desperate. Again, do you decide to go for a stack of 3 players towards the side here? How do you play this one out? We've got Golden walking up the high position on B. And that might be pretty good here, because it looks like Crazy going to try to fake in towards the A bomb site. So Golden, if he gets a good engagement, if he gets a couple, this is doable for NiP, and he might just do it. Beautiful angle, spots the bomb. That's everything for NiP, and the follow-up is even better from Rez.
Great cover. Nexa trying to make inroads, trying to give themselves options towards A. Not going to work out, leaving Esperanto 1 versus 3. He's got $10,000, so he should be focusing on damage at this point. He's going to bait Golden into a forward position, but is he ready for the angle? Golden hopping up, and there'll be no more deaths for Ninjas in Pajamas. Nice recovery after an awkward start around E-Box. E-Box essentially like a single bed duvet. There's just not cover for 2 people there. Really awkward stuff.
It's crazy, though, if you consider how the round looked just on paper. It looks really bad for NiP. And then, but like that one play from Golden, just having the wisdom to go for that push, maybe catch a lurker at the very least, that was everything. That's so... Again, NiP winning one of these rounds in which they look like they're having a lot of trouble.
Look at towards on the bomb site. Golden is charging up with some flashbangs. Hunter is around the corner as well. That was a wild run from Ninjas in Pajamas, but with the exchange of flashbangs, they'll both fall away. Now again, Forrest has made his way to the on position. Does he go into main later on? Rez is by E-Box, so it seems Rez will hold control of the E-Box position, and he will go into ladder. But I do wonder if we'll see some more aggression from Forrest a bit later on.
Yeah, Garrett got some information. Oh, hello. Rez gets some information as well, although it gets taken down by Esperanto. But I was going to say that Garrett got information that the AWP was in IV, which is pretty key because it kind of tells you what the round looks like for Crazy. If you have an AWP there, you know, trying to play the picks, it allows you to know you have some time, but Rez needed to get that kill. Now the setup comes from Crazy for the A bomb site. Because he next has to wait for his teammates to be in position a little bit more than they currently are. And there we go. Some smokes out onto the A bomb site. Coverage on the train. E-Box sandwich, everything. Ivy.
Oh, Forest's position was so important to get an early lead on this push, but the flashbang stopped him from connecting the shot. Up on the high ground, he'll get taken out. Lekro delivering the AWP once again. It's a cleanup on the A-bomb site. NiP bleaching the floors. No traces of Crazy in that round.
Great stuff.
The initial entries.
Yeah, great stuff from Get Right. Look at that 3K. James, it seems like Forest is like the sacrificial lamb. Every round he just gets taken out straight away.
As long as it works. I'm glad that they're just letting Lekro do the AWPing. It's working, so don't force it on somebody else. He's delivering repeatedly with the AWP in this particular game. So NiP playing a reactive game there. At that point, they had like 3-4 flashbangs. Didn't really have all the utility they might want to disrupt any plays through main. Just waiting, but Lekro with the multi-frag with the AWP works swimmingly. There's the running right-click flashbang in case anybody's holding an angle towards the ramp. Just initial grenades from Crazy. Molotov up top in case anyone's making an aggressive play. And we've had at least 2 rounds from NiP where they've gone charging up B ramp, so these are necessary.
And a change of pace from Crazy, just a big push in towards the B-bomb site. Lekro Whistler, important shot. Golden, he's in a lot of trouble, needs to get multiple kills. Lekro will deliver as he falls back, but the bomb site has been conceded, and the bomb should be planted, although Crazy are trying to take it safe, so they are not going to get it down immediately. NiP have managed to rotate out of connector mostly. We have actually 2 coming from CT spawn, so at the very least, NiP have players out on the train yard. This is great for them, but they have to get the kills now as they start to encroach closer.
See the molly from Lekro by connector to stop the T, taking a potential forward position. Hunter in the middle of the train. Again, R's going to have a better angle, ready for Otto as well, and Nectar will be taken care of. 4 players surviving for Ninjas in Pajamas. You thought it would be more costly than that, but seems they're finding some success now. That was a really good molly by Lekro. He didn't know if anybody was there. Nobody was there. But it is such a strong position for T sides to take care of people who are coming through connector or flank them as they jump from train to train or go round the back of the train. So that's a good one to know for a retake to help your teammates move into the bomb train yard.
Yeah, and we'll get the tactical coming in from Crazy as they start to try to figure out this situation. And it's been so interesting because I feel like the way it was set up on the desk, all the storylines, there is so much that should suggest that NiP are on the struggle bus in a variety of different ways. And in a lot of these rounds as well, if you look at how they've lost some of the rounds, it's due to what looks like, you know, again, they haven't had that practice time as much as they would have liked. They are using Lekro still because they didn't have time to, you know, get Golden into the action. Forest has not had enough time to practice due to being a recent father. Congratulations to him. And so on and so forth. You know, the list goes on. And they have all these rounds where they don't have utility but still manage to win them. They're really making it work, James.
Golden starts alone towards B. Maybe Crazy will be conditioned to a slow pace on B based on those former aggressions. Reyes in the ladder room quickly. Again, no one making any plays in towards main for NiP. HE over the top. Nobody home on this occasion, not really. Combined 12 damage across 2 players. Early smoke on the ramp. There's a flashbang. They'll go straight through it. They've got the numbers to abuse. The rotation is going to be long. There are flashes deep. There's an instant trade. Golden trying to hold things down. Molotov to create some space. He's got a frag onto Letney, but he'll go down eventually. Has he bought enough time for his team? Rez on the flank. We've got Nexa on the high ground waiting for this. Otto could help, but that will leave the B bomb site weak, so his presence up top is going to be a problem for Crazy to deal with.
Yeah, you're dead right. It's a really big problem, and that's it. Otto gets caught falling back down the ramp, but it's down to Get right now as he swings forth. He's close to the bomb site. He might see a barrel. He goes closer! But Hunter reacts in time, and once again, Crazy, they go for this fast B play. NiP did a pretty good job, and heads up play from Golden, actually, the way that he handled that and repositioned. He did as much as you could really hope. He created delay, he got some frags on the board, but it wasn't quite enough for NiP. And Crazy, can they eke out one more?
Brute force from Crazy towards the B bomb sites. If Get Right was 1 or 2 pixels to the left, he has to jump on. He sees the barrel of the gun of the AK and probably gets himself a quick headshot. But here we are. Otto once again in the ladder room position of the AWP. That smoke's going to be an issue. Delays his shot. Expecting a rotation from CTs, but Rez is comfortable. Got some grenades towards main. Team Dress wanted to go forward, but he eats second one, and this has been a disaster on the A bomb site. Gold and Lekro remain. Lekro, that's a very important shot though. He's got a gap in that smoke, but he'll rotate elsewhere. In the meantime, Golden's found himself an AK-47, and the bomb hasn't been planted just yet, so he'll use these extra seconds to go towards main.
Yeah, big reposition from both of the players. Golden, it's going to take a while to get to that team main spot, and Lekro is kind of waiting it out here. Wants to keep himself alive at the very least. Already scoped in, so won't give away any sound cues there. Otto is definitely going to nail this one. Golden's walking around the corner. There's nothing you can do. Just the wrong weapon in the wrong position for Golden. And Esperanto takes off the head of Lekro, and that's a wrap for the first half. But it's not a bad one considering how bad it could have been for NiP. And crazy with a good recovery as well. This is neck and neck. We'll have to see how things will measure up after the break.
Crazy start the CT side with 7 rounds on the board. I think they're in a good position. During the breakdown, asked me who I thought would win, and I think at this point, I would slightly favour Crazy. Slightly. But it's just hard to know what to expect from Ninjas in Pyjamas on this T side, but we won't have to wait long to find out. Hunter's going to have a cheeseboard selection of grenades on this CT pistol round. A HE, a flashbang, a smoke grenade, the same for Nexa. No kit, so I'm very curious to see what they have in mind. If there's a B bomb site play, they could potentially smoke off both the choke points. We shall see. Hunter has a smoke in his hand, but he's towards Ivy at the moment, so there's going to be plenty of utility for the retake. One HE up the ramp. That's not going to quite work out. Nexa will lose his grenade to the T side. Also gets headshot from the other side of the train yard. His teammates need to make their way through that connector position. Esperanto charging forward. W all the way. Can't quite finish off Get Right. Alrez gets his reload in, but he might not last very much. Oh my god! Okay, never mind. Get Right 1 versus 4. Absolutely disgusting stuff. Esperanto versus 2 on the sidewalk. Completely exposed reloading. Somehow gets 2 headshots from it. That was nasty.
Yeah, that sidewalk peek from the T side is such a risky peek. As you don't have anywhere to move. There's only one position you can stand. You're limited by the kind of lip there of the sidewalk itself. And that did backfire on NiP going for that one. Esperanto ready for it, and NiP now losing that pistol. They won the pistol in the first half. So you can see that there's like almost nowhere you can stand there if you go for that peek. It's an easy one for Esperanto. You can't challenge him like that. Got to give him more respect. 18 for 10 at the moment. So 4 deagles from NiP. They're not committing all the way.
Let's see if they're able to engage in a similar fashion to the one that Crazy did. There are other angles to deal with as well, but again, so many of these channels, look how tight they are from a CT perspective. There's only so many places they can stand. So I feel like you've got a fair chance at doing 50-ish damage. Who knows after that? Rez creeping out, spotted Otto. Couldn't make a connection, but Esperanto so close. Not really fearing these pistols, and indeed it was a deagles. Would be as bad as with a P250 or something. Deagle has such range anyway for the headshots.
Yeah. Oh no. was going to say he crept out to the upper position on B.
He's dead, Dan.
He absolutely is. And it's been a costly run for NiP so far in terms of, sacrificing 2 players for 2 missed opportunities. It's definitely low percentage in a round like this, but here comes the peak. Hunter is extremely ready for this. Can't get... Whoa! Alrighty then.
Just Lecro things. I don't understand what just happens.
That's
apart
beautiful.
from Lecro's on the server.
Yeah, can they get another one? That's the question. If they get another one, that would really put Crazy in a bad spot, because the big buys coming out next round from NiP. Get right. One more kill. Let's see. Not quite. Esperanto will shut it down. Good stuff from Crazy. That's what they needed to do. Couldn't really allow any other damage to be done.
Smart wide swing from Esperanto. Had more space to play with in that engagement, and Crazy are in the lead.
Is Forrest going to AWP straight away? I'm wondering. He's got $5,800, James. Looks like he's saved for it.
He's had a nightmare so far, but there's no reason that should continue on the T side, even though the CT side, you'd imagine he would have more success having held the angles in the first place. But Lecro's doing the heavy lifting with AWP in the first half, so we'll see if Forrest can turn things around. Got some grenades on the A bomb site. Rez was spotted making his way to Wolof. Now there's a charge straight into the B bomb site. Get right. Just better equipped. Very, very fast moving rounds. Now, Crazy are not really in position at the moment. That might help, however. We've got Letney close to the flank as well. I'm not sure if the angle will be spotted by Forrest as he moves back. The boxes are going to obscure his vision up top. Now he's in an awkward position. A flying Letney's going to take him out. So it goes from bad to worse for Forrest at the moment. Golden, though, is on the other side of the train yard, and he might be key in holding this down. Hunter gets taken out. Otto very close. Takes one in the face. Now, is it about saving the AWP? Apparently not. Esperanto with the wide swing. And now it's Golden versus 2. That's a beautiful trace from him. Lenny's in an awkward spot. The smoke is up. Is Golden a believer? I think he realizes he's off the bar. The spray at point-blank range is too great. Rescues the AWP as well. And there's the round for NiP, but he won't survive.
It's so close, too. That's absolutely gutting, isn't it? This is going to be a really interesting round. Again, these teams are tied at 9-9. Now, NiP, they're going to have an interest. I mean, they should have the edge when the money's like this, just because it can be a little cheaper to get everything you want as the Ts. Well, they did take their time buying. We do get the AWP from Crazy. Esperanto's got it, but he's got no Kevlar, nothing to back it up with. There's no kits. There's a very limited grenades. There's a CZ and MP9. This is very wanting, this buy from Crazy. Lecro doesn't have any armor. This is this is not ideal for either side, but the implications are huge as both teams are broke right now. Big, big round. Can't really emphasize that enough. What are NiP going to be choosing to do in this situation? Crazy have a potential setup to push Hunter. Okay, they have, but Esperanto can't flash him in, so he's unlikely to push without a flashbang on Ivy.
Hunter's the cleanup if Esperanto is engaged with the AWP. There's often enough distraction. I feel like it's rare you're going to see a game like this from Forrest. You can see the frustration, but he still keeps a very cool head, which you have to respect. That might get to more people. But while this presence is being shown from Golden towards B, have a look at the radar. You see, oh, that's brutal for Crazy. Just as they release the setup, it seems that a distraction was enough to make them move elsewhere. They put a timely smoke down, but it's the kills you need in a situation like this. I think they'd want that engagement if they knew it was coming.
The problem for NiP, though, is that they don't have any positioning. And given the buy of Crazy, they kind of need to be further forward than they already are. They're going to get the smoke molly that's so classic on Ivy. So the pressure's coming towards A now. But again, like, they haven't left themselves for very much time. There's a smoke left. They have to go through it. There's no choice. Hunter, we can't nail that one. And that's going to be a problem. 15 seconds to go. And Esperanto's dropped the bomber. And now we've got problems for NiP. Esperanto's the problem. Picks up a second one. Whereas the bomb is not moving quickly enough. It might just... Rez is going to have to commit to this. And he's got to pray. He's going to pray he can get it down in time. Where are the players coming from? He's in a 1 versus 3 with the bomb down. He can't adjust quickly enough. Olid will take him down. And I think, James, there's a lot of shortcomings from NiP there. They just weren't... There was just not enough pressure from them in this round.
Unless I'm mistaken, they moved through the choke points with 20 seconds on the clock. That's a luminosity round.
Yeah.
And if something goes wrong If a smoke's in the wrong place, if there's a gap and there's a guy behind the smoke with the CZ, how do you deal with it? You can't.
Yeah, Train is not... I mean, there's a difference too, you know, if you're going to play slow play things like that, there has to be some level of pressure. But unfortunately, the only pressure on the map was Golden firing a few bullets to a ramp and then throwing a smoke. And that's not quite enough because you haven't taken any utility or given an argument to throw any utility around the A bomb site, like, you know, to the A players. So they have a smoke at 20 seconds. That's not ideal when they started the round with no utility, let's not forget. So Crazy picking up that really impactful round. GetRight sacrificed himself. He's pumped up Lekro. Lekro has been souped up with that AK-47. Let's see if it can amount to anything.
Can be headshot through this wall. Unlikely in this particular round, I think, but RPK's taken a lot of headshots through that wall in the past, being the man to spot with the grenade in the hand. Looking for the timing of the T's taking presence towards the upper B area. Maybe it means a rotation, maybe it doesn't. We've got the 1 AK for Lekro, the hero AK. Train, such a hard map for a hero AK. Normally you want your non-AK players to stay alive, but to get through a choke point on Train, they may have to just run down and take some bullets. And you can see Forest will be some cannon fodder on the high ground. That could have been a lot worse. Now, Nex is moving up. He's got his teammate covering the high ground. He's got the smoke for the low to make things easier for him. Lekro creeping, trying to do some damage. Nex just sweeping all the dust in the corner, however. And GetRight's left with a Glock on the A-bomb site, jumping around to his doom. Maybe a relief that one's over for them. 11 rounds for Crazy.
Yeah, you can see that's also not an ideal situation insofar as the person peeking first is the guy out of the smoke, who is GetRight with the, Lekro with the rifle through a smoke. You know, it should be the pistol that's going first in an ideal situation. So these small details not going the way for NiP. And I mean, this will look better this round in terms of the buy, of course, after the save rounds. But NiP in some danger. I feel like Crazy is so close to getting some momentum. Esperanto going close towards T main, and he's like the big boss. You know, it's going to be hard to deal with Esperanto now that he's fired up on an AK-47 in these forward positions. How do you best him in these 1v1s? See, Rez is so aware that that push could already have happened, spraying the corner in case Esperanto was there. Slow pace here from NiP. Flashbang across. Otto whiffs the shot.
Well avoided the flash. Smokes the choke point. And he will change position. The AWP is rotating elsewhere, and Hunter will post up. And Hunter's got a second smoke grenade as well. So if NiP try to make a late play there, it might not work out for them. And now we look at the time pressure. We also look at the utility for NiP. At this point, they've got 1 smoke and 1 molly, both on GetRight, who's in Ivy with a Mac-10. Meanwhile, the bomb is towards the B bomb site. So they've got no real utility to cut off the connector position. And this investment, this is the standard stuff. But Hunter's beyond it. So they're not too concerned. They're waiting with 2 players towards the B bomb site. Golden walks to his doom. The flashbang comes in too late, too far away anyway. GetRight taken out towards Ivy. So far, so good for Crazy. Simply waiting, dealing with them as they come. Take a ticket, please. Rez on top of the train with the bomb with 15 seconds. He's got himself 2 frags, but Nexa will stop this bomb from going down. Forrest now left alone by that sidewalk position. He's got time to do this. Beautiful spray, but he's got to plant the bomb quickly. Has he got time? I think he might just... Letney full health. He doesn't know for sure where Letney is. He's got 6 bullets. Maybe he's got a slight warning with this shake. And he landed a headshot. No! 12 rounds for Crazy. They pull away now by 3.
Oh, that's the round, isn't it? I've seen Forrest do it so many times before, but it's not going to happen this time for NiP. The silver lining is that they did a lot of damage to Crazy's economy, and they got a bomb plant, so that will help their economy. And given the fact that they have a loss bonus building, they will have something to fight with in this next round. But this 1v1 from Letney, really, really good stuff. I mean, just goes to show there's such immense talent across the board for Crazy. That's one of the reasons why they're so deadly and why they've made it this far. And you can see that Forrest is not having the best game. It looked like it was difficult in the first half for him to have positions that would work. And honestly, seeing Forest dedicated AWP, we've seen this before, James, in the past, and it's never seemed optimal. Forest has always seemed like the guy that picks up the second AWP when he feels it, and then he does damage. But
I wonder if at the moment it's just finding something that's going to work better than what's happening so far. May feel some shortcomings in his contribution at the moment. Then he quietly makes his way into the ladder position, but GetRight's got perfect timing, and you can see NiP swarming immediately. They've got no utility apart from what they find on the floor. Just charging through, guns out. Oh, that's the bomb. Hunter's down to 1 HP. He needs to hold the Ivy position. He needs presence, but it'll be taken away by the likes of Lecro. Jumping straight into the after Esperanto. Beautiful multi-frag from him. GetRight trades, makes it 2 versus 1. They know where Nexa is, but Nexa's got the 1v1 at the moment. Doesn't know where Forest is. He knows where he is now. NiP, double figures. They make it to 10.
That's good stuff. You know, it seems to be the case that playing some of these faster rounds is beneficial for NiP. The longer the rounds go on, you know, Crazy get to make more plays. You know, we see, for example, Crazy have been quite good, quite adept at taking forward positions, really making life difficult for NiP when the rounds, you know, when there's a lot more decisions that can be made in a round. But if you play it fast, you play that deathmatch style, that seems to be a good look. But you can't do it all the time. Or can you? I guess is the question sometimes. We'll see what NiP decide to do. It is a tactical from Crazy. They realize the desperation of this situation. They could very well be about to lose their leads. Otto has an AWP and Esperanto's Force Sport as well. He's got Deagle and Kevlar. So yeah, they're committing to the full Force buy around Otto's AWP, which he purchased. This is an interesting one, James. Crazy somehow pulled this one out of the bag. I don't know if there'll be a recovery for NiP, but they have the advantages to win it.
Once again, Crazy set up that IV position. Hunter in a very forward spot. Esperanto at the back, but sorry, Otto at the back with the AWP. Esperanto only has a Deagle. NiP have been really patient with their approaches to Ivy. They've been slow. And they tend to wear out the patience of Crazy before NiP moves to Ivy. However, sometimes by the time NiP are in position, there's no time left. So we'll see which way it goes. Nexa moving more forward on the B bomb site. A real lack of utility here for Crazy. And again, the patience of NiP. Hunter starts to back away. Nothing's going on around the map, but still, there's a timing where Crazy make this play. I wonder if this is like a hard counter from NiP. If they know at a certain time on the clock, they abandon this position on Ivy and they do something else.
Indeed. They do try to investigate towards Ivy. We see on the radar there's some players moving towards that direction for Crazy. So they don't know exactly what's going on yet. They are also rotating Otto towards backlines. So the B-bomb site right now is pretty vulnerable, although there are some flanking opportunities with Letney so close to the pop dog, but NiP got to be careful not to run themselves into an anti-timing, which maybe that was, but Rez with a brutal, lethal shot to open up onto the AWPer. That's a dangerous weapon gone, but Nexa shows us that the MP9 is dangerous as well. But forward positioning gained quickly, swiftly by NiP as they look to get the bomb down in the nick of time. And in swings Esperanto. He just saw Rez. That's big information. Rez has to be looking towards the right spot at the right time, and he might just get himself into safety.
Then he takes one in the face. Hunter may want to hold on to what he has now. There's no defuse kit for these two players. Unless one's on the floor. The Deagle continues. Esperanto, no! No! I cannot believe he's just done that! What is the science behind that?
Esperanto, that lethal Deagle is unbelievable. Every single bullet used to perfection.
Oh my god.
The 180 is unbelievable. We know that he's capable of this. We've yet to see something quite so absolutely disgusting and outrageous. And what a shot to the hearts of NiP.
Even he's shocked he's on the same team.
Look, what do you do about that? That is a guaranteed round. This is a guaranteed round. There's no time to get 3 kills with 180s like that, but somehow Esperanto finds it. And now NiP, they need to dig deep. They need to dig extremely deep. That was their comeback. That was their comeback.
He's got 31 frags. He's 31 for 14. Esperanto's having the game of his life at the moment. There's a small after the first frag, he just strafes a little bit just to take the spray away. Oh, that was so sick, and he's obviously just blown his load, hasn't he? He's dead now. 5 versus 4 for Ninjas in Pajamas. They get an early frag, but how can they recover from that? That's a shock to the system.
The way to recover from that is to win this round, because if they win it, they at least break the economy of Crazy. Their buy again it looks somewhat. It's not ideal. It's decent, but not ideal. NiP have the man advantage. They have to just make sure they dig deep. They don't allow that situation to really get to them in any way. It happens, and they know Esperanto. They know that Esperanto's good, and he's capable of that. And that stuff can happen in a game of Counter-Strike. NiP, there are a lot of things. You could argue that they're unprepared for this major in many respects, but one thing that they do have is bucket loads of experience, and they've all experienced stuff like this before. Now all they need to do is find a way to finish this round off and reset Crazy.
That pop flash was missing in NiP's CT side. Simple pop flash and seeking of information. My God, Esperanto, what are you capable of? You absolute monster.
There's 2 flashbangs left on the CT side, and then come NiP. Letney in Pop Dog doing damage. Otto shuts down the sandwich push, and Hunter takes advantage of Rez, not sure where to look, looking towards Pop Dog, and they will be annihilated. Forest in the most ridiculous 1v4 situation to really save NiP. It's not over yet, but with that round in the bag for Crazy, it is now truly, well and truly in desperation territory for NiP. All the Hail Marys need to be unleashed right now.
NiP have won 2 rounds in this half. It should have been 3. But Esperanto is going nuclear at the moment. Ninjas in Pajamas seem helpless against a tide that is Crazy on the CT team.
Yeah. I mean, Lekro was the guy that lit up the scoreboard for NiP in that first half, but in the second half, he has not had quite the performance, and we've been looking to somebody else, and no one else has stepped up to do what Lekro did in that first half for NiP. It's 4 Deagles and a Scout. That's an HE. Oh, God, that's going to do some damage. Get Right's going to fall back. Timing Deagle shot. There we go. Obviously not going to find anything. This is so bad for NiP. Given the amount of money they've left themselves with, they will have a buy in the next round, especially if they get a plant. So a good buy.
They've got max loss bonus. That's the only thing going their way at the moment. It's money in the wallet. Forward HE. That same position is good for a pop flash as well. Ninjas in Pajamas try to move in. They're stuck in a choke point, finally making their way out. Get Right will be the first to fall. Lekro's on the sidewalk position. Nexa running low on bullets, but he's got his teammates in position. Rez now 1 versus 3. He's got himself 2 headshots to make it a 1 versus 2 actually. Has he got as many as Esperanto? Hops up, spots one of the players, but where is the second one? He doesn't know. No HEs remain. They're not closing the distance too much just yet. We've got Hunter by the spools. Esperanto spotted, tagged ever so slightly. He knows where both of them are now, but it's too much to ask. Match point for Crazy.
Yeah, that had to be such an answer to Esperanto's 3K with the Diga, 4K with, what was it, like 5 HP or something, but it's obviously too much in this case to ask. NiP will get the full buy in hand, and indeed they have all the money available. And this is such an important one to win. NiP do not want to go down 0-2. Nobody, of course, wants to go down 0-2 on day 2 of the new Legends stage. And, you know, Crazy, you know, this would by no means be any kind of an upset. I think most people would have expected them to win given their form, given the troubles of NiP of late. But there is always a chance in Counter-Strike. It's not over until 16. In regulation, at least. NiP, what have you got to show?
I still cannot comprehend that Deagle series.
Yeah, just
that just came out of nowhere.
Clean 180.
That was so sick, though. Honestly, the little strafe around the second frag, the awareness, unreal. 5 match points for Crazy. Here comes the first one. Ninjas in Pajamas are fighting for their lives in this game at the very least. There's a queue of players coming out of the ladder room. Get Right's going to take the first bullet once again. 4 versus 5 for Ninjas in Pajamas. There's a flank coming in from Esperanto as well. They're stuck around a choke point. They're being delayed by Crazy, but they're patient. Esperanto's flank is eliminated. Lekro falling. Can't take out Hunter. 3 versus 4 now. NiP, the longer this round goes on, the better position the CTs will be in. The bomb's on the floor. Forest and Rez remain. It's not too late for Forest to get something done, but multi-frags with the AWP. There's a lot to ask for. Stereo frags for Crazy. 16 to 10. They take train over Ninjas in Pajamas.
Yeah, they played really, really well. And honestly, the thing is that it wasn't until that clutch from Esperanto when it really started to look bad. NiP looked competitive. It looked like that was about to be the moment where they steal away. Well, not steal away. It was a 3 versus 1 with guns down, with the bomb down. And that was the moment where they get momentum and equalize and really make this competitive. But that just took all the wind out of NiP's sails. That one clutch from Esperanto, and I'm sure that's going to be hitting the top of Reddit for a while.
32 for 16, Esperanto from out of nowhere with a huge overperformance on train. Fantastic stuff and a great highlight for many years to come. That was just one of the most absurd things I have seen in recent memory. Those 3 Deagle kills, the 180, get the MLG stickers out, boys. Because that was something nutty. But the slight strafe as well, I cannot stress, it's not just the headshots, but he's being shot at, he just jiggles a little. It's not even a jiggle really, he just kind of poked to one side to take the spray away to make things even harder. But the presence of mind to do that little movement, I mean, that may be the difference between getting 3 kills and getting 1 kill.
I think one of the things too is that what we saw here as far as NiP goes is that they individually they do look really good across the board. Everyone had a great moments, and part of Counter-Strike is putting your players in positions to succeed. And I think some of the difficulty, of course, NiP have had in their preparation for this tournament is a lack of practice and everything like that, which will add to the situation where Forest, even if Forest is a player that he can do something, he can always do something, but if he can't find spots because he's not being put in the right position to do so, it's going to be hard. And he's on a dedicated AWP, James. It's always been awkward for Forest.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody had great moments. He struggled quite a lot there, but Lekro did pick up some of the slack in the first half with the AWP. But I mean, there was a lot of rounds in that second half as well where they just didn't have the utility, or they were making a play towards B, but they only Molly and Smoke was towards IV for the fake and so on. So there were a lot of rough spots there for Ninjas in Pajamas, and made even worse by that. I mean, just the psychological madness of those 3 Deagle shots, just bananas. It was crazy. No pun intended. Sorry.
That was the moment. That was the moment that really did it and did NiP. And I think after that, I think you could see that that you could see Get Right's face. We saw his reaction. That was a moment in which they in their heads, they worked for that round. They were in the game. That was the moment they got taken out of the game. That clutch broke them. And that's, I mean, credit to them for getting so far, but crazy. They're so dangerous. Esperanto had a hell of a game.
Sue, what do you think about those Deagle shots?
Well, James, those Eagle shots were pretty nutty, but let's hear what Nexa had to think about that, because wow, that was quite the performance that we saw, not just from you guys, but specifically from Esperanto, who has been very vocal about not being the most confident, but today was a totally different performance.
Yeah, I've been waiting on this for over a year, just waiting for him to come back to the play style and the confidence he used to have before when we were playing in Imperial, and I think he's finally starting to get into it,
You were talking about how you know him very, very well, and as the IGL, you want to sort of give him the freedom to be able to make those plays that he used to have all the time with Imperial. So what do you think it was about this map on Train that really allowed him to do all of those things?
Well, yesterday after our game against Liquid, he was saying that he doesn't do his usual plays, and he doesn't buy the second op as much, and then I just told him, bro, you want to play the op, you want to go push something, you want to make crazy plays, just go do it. I have full trust and 100% confidence in you that you're going to make a sick play, that you're going to get all the kills that we need, and then he came here and he did exactly that,
What was the reaction after that Liquid game? Because I was talking to Peter earlier, and he said that he felt that you guys had a really, really strong chance. So what was it like facing the best team in the world?
I think we just played really scared. We gave them too much respect. They are the #1 team in the world, and I think we fought pretty well on the CT side. But when you give opponent too much respect on your T side and you don't go for any picks, any individual plays, you don't take any duels. You just wait for them to kill you, basically. Then you get the result that you saw yesterday on the T side.
How do you usually process a loss like that? Do you and Ami take some time to watch the demo, or how do you process that?
Well, we just rewatched our game. We saw what our main mistakes were. We weren't really sad about loss or anything. They are the best team in the world, and I don't think anyone even expected us to play so well on the CT side against them. But We just knew what our mistakes were. We came today refocused. We know what we're not gonna do again. We played with a lot more confidence. We were all like peaking, going with flash, without flash, just sticking together, trading, and that's what we do best.
I think every one of us were blown away by the performance today, so congratulations once again with that. Crazy is 1-1, and after the break, we have Mouse Sports taking on North.